Never underestimate the power of a praying person. Just one praying person. There is so much power in one person that prays. A committed person, a consistent person, somebody that wakes up at the same time, at the same hour, prays the same amount of, takes the same amount of time in prayer. There is so much power in consistency. One praying person, it all takes to change so much. James 5 verse 16 says, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man, one righteous person, says availeth much. And at times when we are in the place of prayer, or when God calls us to pray, it is very common for us to think, my prayers are not doing anything. I'm praying over an entire city. I'm praying over an entire family. I'm praying over a nation, and could I be the only one praying? And if I'm the only one praying, does my praying bring a difference? I want to assure you that there are certain situations that have changed because of only one person that was praying. Even in the Bible, we see change that was brought about. The hand of God moved because of one person that just kept on praying. The best example I can think of is when Elijah was the only one that stood up against 450 prophets of Baal. Elijah. One man made a difference. Another example that I could think of is when God was speaking to Abraham, and God was talking to Abraham about destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham kept on interceding and asking the Lord, what if you find 50 righteous men, 45 righteous men, 40 righteous men, 20, and he ended at 10. What Abraham did not even realize possibly was that if he had interceded even to ask the Lord to say, if you found one righteous man, you would be amazed that God would have saved Sodom and Gomorrah for the sake of that one righteous man, Lot. But because Abraham ended at 10, God had to find a way of rescuing Lot. But listen to what Lot asked the angel as he was being snatched out of Sodom and Gomorrah. He told the angels and said, the angels told him to say, can you run up the hills? When you get to the hills, we cannot do anything until you get to the hills. But Lot said, I may not get to the hills fast enough. Can you allow me to go? There's a city here. There's a small city here. Allow me to get to that city. The angel said, get to that city. We will not do anything until you arrive. As soon as Lot arrived at that city, Sodom and Gomorrah went into flames. Interestingly, there were other towns in that region that were also consumed by God's judgment. That little city where Lot went to was preserved because of Lot being there. So, never underestimate the power of a person, one person that prays. Jeremiah 5 verse 1 says, run to and from through the streets of Jerusalem, see now and know, and seek in our open places if you can find a man, if there is anyone who executes judgment, who seeks the truth, and I will pardon her. God says just one person. Just one person. Ezekiel 22 verse 30, the famous scripture. It says, I sought for a man, somebody to stand in the gap, make the hedge. It says, I did not find one. So never underestimate the fact that you are the only one that prays in that family. Your praying brings God's presence and God's power in that home. Your praying alone, your consistent praying, brings the power of God's presence in your community. Your consistent praying alone brings the power of God's presence in your city. Never underestimate that. Your praying alone will bring God's preservation. God can preserve a whole family because of one person that is committed. God can preserve an entire city because of one person that is committed. God can preserve an entire church because of one person that is committed and one person that prays. Never underestimate your value in the realm of the Spirit. You could be the reason why God is preserving and blessing an entire family or an entire city or an entire community. Never underestimate. The power of one righteous person is immeasurable in the realm of the Spirit. Remember, it was Joseph, just Joseph alone, that was bringing the blessing of the Lord to the entire nation of Egypt. Joseph alone. And at that time, the whole world came to be blessed, came to be preserved, came to get resource from Egypt. So there was one man, Joseph, that was bringing blessing to other nations of the world. So never underestimate the power of one righteous person. You are that one righteous person. I want to encourage you. I woke up with this word in my spirit, and I wanted to encourage you with it. That you could be the only one that is fasting. You could be the only one that is praying. You could be the only one that is serving God in your family. You could be the only one that is committed. But do not underestimate the power that is flowing out of your spirit into your family, into your community, into your city. You'll be amazed at what 10 years of praying will do, 20 years of praying will do, 30 years. You'll be amazed at what a lifetime of prayer can do. You'll be amazed at the fruit that will come out of your commitment and your dedication to the Lord. Remain committed this year. Remain as committed as you can be, because there is something big, there is something supernatural that is coming out of your commitment to your prayer life, your commitment to your ministry,